got to this one and I was like, oh, contemporary romance, this is so not for me. I like my dark dystopians. People need to get killed, come on. And I read her book, Anne and the French Kiss, like determined not to like it. And after I read it, I was like, well, I'm gonna write romance now. So I've seen her at like a bunch of conferences, and like we've even been signing books at the same conferences before, and I'm still like, you're Stephanie Perkins. Okay. Rainbow Rowell, now that was like me right before I melted into a puddle. Rainbow Rowell, by far one of my favorite, top 5. I have all of her books, some doubles of Eleanor Park, Fangirl. I have 2 of each of those. They're all signed because at this signing, I brought all my books because I was that person. And she signed them all and it was awesome. That was Writers Week 2011? That was me like retweeting it again in 2014, but it was I think 2011 or 2012 that Veronica Roth came here, just after, or just before I think Insurgent came out, and she like just sold the movie rights, and we were talking, and we're like, what's gonna happen with that? And she's like, it could be nothing. It's the same company that does the Hunger Games, so I don't think anything will happen like that soon. And now she's, worth millions of dollars, so yay for her. And awesome that she came here and talked to us. And I'm like a ridiculous fangirl with the authors that I love, and I'm not cool at all in front of them, because I'm super cool right now. But when I'm in front of people that I'm big fans of, like my rock stars, I totally lose it. So this happened last year. Mrs. Ank plays a part in this. So, and I shared this last year too. So there's this conference by Anderson's Bookshop, the YA Lake Conference, and then they have like Phantom Frenzy the next day that like you guys can go to, but the first day is just for educators. And I was at a table next to James Dashner, that's the back of James Dashner's head. I was at a table next to James Dashner, and Mrs. Ank was not there that day. She was coming the next day for Phantom Frenzy, which is where this picture's from. And I was tweeting her how cute James Dashner was, and I thought he was a total silver fox. And so she texts me the next day with this picture, and then this is the text. And I was like, oh my god. And then that's about it. Okay. So I'm gonna finish up here with just a few things that I think are really important if you do want to be a writer, if you do want to continue writing, if you're already writing. Is to find the support system that works for you. Because writing can be a very lonely activity, but there's definitely support and motivation out there. So the first thing you need is a story idea, or whatever you're going to be writing about. The commitment to do it, to write, to revise, and to keep revising until that editor takes it out of your hand and says, sorry, you can't do anything anymore. And then that support system, like I told you about. I met all of my writing partners on Twitter. And they live all over the country, and they're some of my closest friends. And so I just get to share them here. So those are all my writing partners. Now we meet up at conferences every year, and it's awesome, and I talk to them every day because yay for Facebook chat. And they are my support system, and they help keep me going. And then because you need a works cited page, this is a very rudimentary one, I'm sorry, it's not MLA format. But I'm giving credit for my gifts and my pictures because that's how I do it. So thank you very much. I think there are a few minutes left. 5 minutes. If anybody has anything they want to ask me, I'm totally open to questions. Otherwise, I've also got books if you want to come get a book signed. $10. And that's about it. Thank you so much for having me, guys.